Think about the last time you felt truly alive, the last time you let yourself imagine what you could do if there were no limits, no setbacks, no boundaries. Remember how that felt? There's a reason you felt so energized, so alive. It's because that vision you had, it was part of your purpose. Dreaming big isn't just a whimsical exercise, something to pass the time while we wait for real life to start. Dreaming big is about tapping into that deep, powerful part of ourselves that knows we're meant for something greater. It's about living the life you were born to live, not just getting by. But why do so many of us settle for less? Why do we let our dreams get smaller and smaller as we grow older? Maybe it's because as we go through life, we start believing the myths we're told that dreams are just for the lucky, the gifted, the few. Maybe it's because we begin to doubt our own potential, seeing only the limitations around us, never the possibilities. Or maybe it's because we're afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of reaching for something bigger than we've ever tried before. And that fear, it paralyzes us, keeps us thinking small, playing safe. But I'm here to tell you that playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do. Think about every great achievement in history. Every single one of them started with a big dream. It didn't matter if that dream was wildly ambitious or seemed impossible at the time. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., who dreamed of a world where equality wasn't just a vision, but a reality. Think of Steve Jobs, who dreamed of putting powerful technology in the hands of ordinary people. Think of Amelia Earhart, who dreamed of defying expectations and soaring into the skies. These people, these icons, they didn't start out any more special than you or me. They simply believed in their dreams. They believed in their power to shape the world. And most importantly, they were willing to take action on those dreams. This is the core message. Dreaming big is about creating a vision that demands action, a vision so powerful that it pulls you forward, even when the going gets tough. And that vision can come from you. You have that potential within you. So right here, right now, let's commit to a new perspective. Let's reject the small limiting beliefs that have kept us chained down. Let's replace them with the courage to dream as big as we possibly can. Because when we dream big, we begin to tap into our true power and we start to live a life that feels meaningful, a life that feels like ours. Get ready, because from this moment on, we're not just talking about dreams, we're talking about transforming them into reality. All right, so you've got a dream, a vision that's bigger than anything you've dared to pursue before. You're excited, maybe even electrified by the thought of what's possible. But then something creeps in, doesn't it? That little voice in the back of your mind that starts whispering, what if you fail? What will people think? Are you really good enough for this? And before you know it, that excitement you felt gets buried under a pile of doubt, fear, and second guessing. Why is that? Why do we let these fears talk us out of going after our biggest dreams? The truth is, fear is one of the greatest barriers to dreaming big. It's what keeps us playing small, settling for safe, and living lives that feel okay, but never extraordinary. And it shows up in a few key forms. Let's break them down. First, we have the fear of failure. This is a big one. So many of us are afraid of failing so much that we don't even try. We think, what if I put myself out there, give it everything, and it doesn't work? What if I fall flat on my face? It's a scary thought, and for many people, that's all it takes to never start. Then there's the fear of rejection. The idea that people might laugh at our dreams, criticize us, or tell us we're not good enough. We're afraid of how we'll look to others if we step outside the norm and dare to be different. And this fear, it often keeps us right where society expects us to be, following a path that's predictable, safe, and uninspiring. And let's not forget about self-doubt. This is the voice that says, who do you think you are? You're not smart enough, talented enough, experienced enough to pull this off. Self-doubt can be relentless, poking holes in our confidence and making us second guess every step we take. Finally, there are societal expectations. We've all been conditioned in one way or another to believe there's a right way to live, a set of rules we should follow to be successful or respectable. Maybe it's the expectation to pursue a certain career, live a certain lifestyle, or keep our heads down and be realistic. Society can be a powerful influence, pressuring us to conform rather than stand out. But here's the truth, these fears, they're often disguised as something we call realistic thinking. We tell ourselves that we're just being practical, rational, or sensible. We say things like, it's just not realistic to try that, or I need to be more reasonable with my expectations. But deep down, that realism is often just fear in a nice, safe disguise. It's a way of talking ourselves out of taking risks, a way to stay comfortable in a life that might feel okay, but never extraordinary. Let me tell you a story about someone who had every reason to give in to these fears, but didn't. Think about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She faced multiple rejections. Over a dozen publishers turned her down before one finally took a chance on her book. Imagine if she had let the fear of rejection stop her. Imagine if she had thought, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not cut out for this. If she had listened to that fear, millions of readers would have never known the magic of her world. Her story is a powerful example of how important it is to keep going, even when doubt, failure, and rejection seem like they're all around you. Now, here's a practical exercise to help you face these fears. I want you to try something called visualizing the worst-case scenario. We tend to think our fears are these huge, terrifying monsters, but often, when we really take a closer look, they're not as big as we think. So take a moment and imagine what's the absolute worst thing that could happen if you went after your dream and didn't succeed. Maybe you try and fail. Maybe people talk. Maybe you feel embarrassed. But here's the kicker most of the time. Even the worst case scenario isn't that bad. You'll still be here. You'll still be here. You'll still be you. And guess what? You'll have learned something, gained experience, and built resilience that will serve you in ways you can't even imagine yet. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine you face that fear, you give it everything, and it works out. Imagine the impact, the satisfaction, the freedom. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you went for it, that you didn't let fear stop you from living the life you truly wanted. So I'm asking you to make a choice. Will you let fear run the show, or will you face it, lean into it, and keep moving forward anyway? Because on the other side of that fear is everything you've been dreaming of. In this moment, let's take a deep breath and commit to recognizing our fears for what they are. Let's stop letting them masquerade as realistic thinking and call them out as what they really are, obstacles. And once we see them clearly, we can start taking the small, powerful steps to overcome them. Let's embrace the courage it takes to dream big, even when fear tries to keep us small. Because that's where true greatness lies, right beyond the boundaries of fear. Let's talk about belief, the foundation of every big dream. No matter how grand your vision is, no matter how well you've mapped out the steps, if you don't truly believe you can do it, those dreams will remain just that, dreams. Now, when we talk about self-belief, it's important to understand that this isn't just some feel-good idea. Belief is power. It's the energy that drives action and fuels persistence. Without it, even the best plans and the most incredible resources will go to waste. But when you believe, truly believe in what's possible, you're willing to push through obstacles, to endure setbacks, and to keep moving forward even when it seems impossible. One of the first steps to building this unshakable belief is to start focusing on the way you talk to yourself. Think about it. If you spoke to others the way you sometimes speak to yourself, would they feel supported or defeated? Too often, our own self-talk is filled with criticism, doubt, and negativity. We tell ourselves, I'm not smart enough, I don't have the experience, it's just too big for me to handle, and every time we think or say these things, we chip away at our own confidence. We undermine our own dreams. But here's the good news, just as we can tear ourselves down, we can also build ourselves up. This is where the power of positive self-talk comes in. I want you to try an exercise. The next time you catch yourself thinking a negative thought about your ability to achieve something, stop right there, interrupt it. Then replace it with a powerful, positive affirmation, something that reaffirms your belief in yourself. Try something like, I am capable, I have what it takes, my dreams are worth it, or every day I'm moving closer to my goals. That may feel strange at first, but repetition is key. Over time, you'll begin to believe these affirmations because they'll become part of your inner voice, the voice that reminds you that you can. Another powerful tool to build belief is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life you've dreamed of. See yourself succeeding, feeling the pride, the excitement, the freedom that comes with it. You make that vision as vivid and detailed as you can. What does your dream life look like? Where are you? Who are you with? How do you feel? Visualization works because it conditions your brain to recognize that this version of reality is possible. It starts to feel real, and when it feels real, you're much more likely to take the steps needed to bring it into existence. Now, I want to share a lesson I've learned from one of the best in the world at building belief and pushing beyond limits, Tony Robbins. He has a phrase he's known for. It's not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. What he's saying is that the most successful people aren't necessarily the ones who started with the perfect plan or the most resources. They're the ones who found ways to make it happen regardless of what they lacked. They didn't wait for ideal conditions or a perfect set of circumstances. They made the most of what they had. They got creative, they found solutions, and they kept pushing forward even when things weren't easy. This is a key part of the dreamer's mindset. We often think we need all the right resources before we can get started. We think we need more money, more time, more connections, more talent. But what if, instead of focusing on what you lack, You focused on what you can do with what you have right now. What if you started asking yourself, how can I use what's already available to me to move one step closer to my goal? This shift from thinking about resources to focusing on resourcefulness changes everything. It turns obstacles into opportunities and helps you build the resilience needed to keep going. Let's make this practical. Here's a brief exercise to help you build your belief every single day. Each morning before you get started with your day, I want you to say out loud one affirmation that empowers you. Something that reminds you of your potential and keeps your dreams alive. You could say, I am worthy of my dreams, or I have everything I need within me to succeed. Pick a phrase that resonates with you. Say it like you mean it. Then spend 1 minute visualizing yourself achieving your dream. See it, feel it, believe it. By doing this daily affirmation and visualization practice, you're training your mind to believe in your potential and to focus on what's possible. You're building a mindset that's resilient, optimistic, and prepared to take on the challenges that come with dreaming big. Remember, your belief in yourself is the single most powerful force in turning your dreams into reality. So make the choice right here now to start nurturing that belief. Talk to yourself like you would to a friend who needs encouragement. See yourself as the person who is capable, worthy, and ready to create the life they desire. Because that's exactly who you are. All right, you've got the dream and you've built the belief. Now comes the most critical part of all taking action. And I'm not just talking about any action, I'm talking about massive, focused, and consistent action. Because here's the truth. A dream without action is just wishful thinking. It's the commitment to take real, tangible steps toward your vision that transforms it into something real. Taking action requires courage. When we're excited about a dream, it's easy to imagine the end result, the success, the accomplishment. But real action demands stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and often feeling uncomfortable. Think about it. Every great achiever, every trailblazer had to face this discomfort. They took the leap anyway. They knew that action is what separates dreamers from doers. Dreaming big means committing fully, not just dipping your toes in the water. It means you dive in, even when you're scared, even when the water's cold, even when you don't feel ready. Because here's the reality: there will never be a perfect time to start. Waiting for the stars to align, for everything to feel just right, is a surefire way to stay exactly where you are. Taking action is about choosing to start right now with what you have and committing to the journey ahead. Let's talk about the concept of massive action. Tony Robbins is known for this phrase, and he emphasizes it for a reason. Massive action isn't about doing one big thing once. It's about taking continuous, deliberate, and bold steps day after day in pursuit of your goal. It's about building momentum. And here's the thing: when you take action consistently, even in small steps, those actions add up over time. It's the daily disciplined effort that creates extraordinary results. You might be wondering, but what if I don't know the exact path? What if I make a mistake? Let me tell you something powerful action clarifies. The more you do, the clearer the path becomes. You learn, you adjust, you grow. Each step you take reveals the next, and with every mistake, you gain valuable insight. Don't let the fear of getting it wrong stop you from getting started. It's better to take imperfect action than to wait for perfect conditions. Now let's address a big barrier: procrastination and resistance. We all experience it, that voice in our head that says, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm just too tired right now. But here's the thing: if you want to achieve something great, you've got to learn to push through this resistance. Procrastination kills more dreams than failure ever could. Every time you delay taking action, you're building a habit of waiting, of avoiding, of doubting. But when you push through that resistance, when you take that first step, even when it's hard, you're building a habit of courage and commitment. Tony Robbins often talks about overcoming procrastination by setting specific goals, creating accountability, and building momentum. So let's break that down. First, set clear, specific goals. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Define what success means to you and outline the steps that will get you there. Second, create accountability. Find a friend, a mentor, or a coach who can hold you accountable. Share your goals with them and set regular check-ins. When you know someone is counting on you to follow through, it gives you that extra push to stay on track. And finally, build momentum. One of the most effective ways to build momentum is to start with small, manageable actions. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in a day. Begin with a single step. Commit to doing one thing today, no matter how small. That moves you closer to your dream. Then tomorrow, do another. And the day after that, another. Over time, these small actions build up. They create a rhythm, momentum that's hard to stop. Now, let's make this real with an exercise. I want you to set a 30-day challenge for yourself. For the next 30 days, commit to taking one small, meaningful step each day toward your dream. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be reading for 15 minutes on a topic related to your goal, reaching out to a mentor for advice, or dedicating time to practice a new skill. The point is to keep moving, to show yourself that you're serious about your dream. Each day, write down what you did. Track your progress. And remember, consistency is key. If you slip up one day, get back on track the next. The idea isn't to be perfect, but to be persistent. When you take action every day, no matter how small, you're building a habit of progress. You're proving to yourself that you have the discipline, the drive, and the determination to make this dream a reality. Imagine where you'll be 30 days from now if you commit to this challenge. You'll have built momentum. You'll have learned from each step. And most importantly, you'll have transformed your dream from something abstract into something tangible, something you're actively creating. So take a deep breath and let's get ready to act. Embrace the discomfort, push through the resistance, and take that first step. Then take another and another, because this is where dreams come to life, not just in the planning or the vision, but in the doing, in the action. When you commit to taking massive action, there's no limit to what you can achieve. All right, let's talk about something crucial, something every single person who's ever achieved anything worthwhile has faced challenges. Setbacks, failures. You see, we often celebrate success and applaud the victories. But we tend to overlook the hard parts, the times when things didn't go as planned, the moments of failure and doubt, the obstacles that seemed insurmountable. But here's the truth, challenges aren't just a part of the journey, they are the journey. If you're pursuing something big, something meaningful, then you're going to face resistance. It's inevitable. But these challenges aren't roadblocks meant to stop you. They're stepping stones designed to help you grow, to sharpen your skills, to deepen your resilience. Think about it, each challenge, each setback is like weightlifting for the mind and spirit. The more resistance you face and push through, the stronger and more capable you become. When you face a setback, it's easy to feel discouraged, to think, maybe this isn't meant for me, or maybe I'm not good enough, but remember this, every single person who has ever achieved greatness has faced failure. Let's take Thomas Edison, for instance, the man who invented the light bulb. He famously failed thousands of times before finding the right filament that worked. When asked about his failures, he didn't say he'd failed thousands of times. He said he found thousands of. That's the mindset of someone who understands that failure is feedback. It's information. It's a necessary part of growth. Developing resilience means reframing how you look at failure and setbacks. Instead of seeing them as signs that you should quit, see them as teachers. Each setback has something valuable to teach you. Maybe it's showing you a skill you need to develop, a weakness you need to strengthen, or a new path you hadn't considered. Growth doesn't come from things going perfectly. It comes from adapting, from learning, from facing challenges head on. So how do you build this resilience? How do you turn these challenges into stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks? Start by embracing a mindset of adaptability. Life is dynamic, and the road to big dreams is rarely a straight line. You have to be willing to adjust, to pivot when needed, to take a different path if that's what it takes. Flexibility doesn't mean giving up on your dream. It means being open to new strategies, new solutions, and new ways to reach your destination. Another key to resilience is staying grounded in your why. Why did you start on this journey? What is it that drives you to dream big? When the going gets tough, and it's this why that keeps you moving. When you remember the deeper purpose behind your dream, you gain the strength to push through the challenges, to keep going even when it feels impossible. Now let's take a look at some real-world examples of people who turned their obstacles into opportunities. Think about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She faced numerous rejections. Dozens of publishers turned her down. She was a single mother on welfare struggling to make ends meet. But she didn't give up. She believed in her dream, kept going, and today she's one of the most successful authors in the world. Or think of Steve Jobs, who was fired from his own company, Apple. Instead of letting that failure define him, he used it as fuel to come back stronger, ultimately transforming Apple into one of the most influential companies in history. These examples aren't just stories, they're reminders that the journey to success is rarely easy or linear. And that's the point. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The hard parts, the setbacks, the failures, that's where the growth happens. That's where you build the grit, the resilience, and the strength that will carry you to your dreams. So here's what I want you to remember: embrace the challenges. When you stumble, don't be afraid to get back up and try again. When you hit a wall, don't stop. Find a way over it, under it, or around it. Don't see challenges as signs to quit. See them as signs that you're on the right path, that you're pushing the boundaries of what you're capable of. Remember, the journey itself is just as important as the destination. Every setback, every failure, every challenge is shaping you into the person you need to become to achieve that big dream. This is the process that prepares you, strengthens you, and refines you. It's in these moments of struggle that you build the character, resilience, and determination that will make you unstoppable. So don't shy away from the tough times, lean into them. Use them as stepping stones, as opportunities to grow stronger, to become better. Because when you reach the other side, when you finally achieve that dream, you'll look back on these challenges with gratitude, knowing they were the very things that made you who you are. This journey, this process of growth, is what makes the dream worth chasing. And when you embrace this growth, when you see challenges as part of your path, there's nothing that can stop you from achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. So here we are. We've walked through the power of big dreams, the fears that try to hold us back, the mindset it takes to believe in yourself, the massive action you need to take, and the resilience to turn obstacles into stepping stones. Now it's time for you to make a choice to commit to the journey, to face the challenges, and to live a life that reflects the dreams in your heart. Dreaming big isn't just a nice idea. It's a call to action. It's about stepping up and daring to create a life that inspires you, one that ignites passion and purpose every single day. Imagine what the world would look like if every one of us answered that call. Imagine a world where each of us pursued our unique dreams, where we all created lives that overflowed with courage and possibility. The world needs your dreams. The people around you, the ones you haven't even met yet, need you to show up fully, to go after those dreams with everything you've got. Because when you pursue your dreams, you inspire others to do the same. You give others permission to think bigger, to believe in themselves a little more. So ask yourself right here, right now, what dream would you pursue if you knew you couldn't fail? If you could break free from every limitation, every doubt, what would your life look like? Hold on to that vision. Let it take root in your heart and make a commitment to take one action toward it today. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. It doesn't have to be a massive step. Maybe it's sitting down for 5 minutes to visualize that dream in detail. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who can help, reading a book to learn something new, or just jotting down a plan. Whatever it is, make it real by taking that first step today. Because a dream that stays in your mind is just a fantasy, but a dream you act on becomes your future reality. The courage to dream big is inside you. The resilience to face challenges, the commitment to keep moving forward, they're all within you. So don't let anything hold you back. Today is your chance to show up, to dream boldly, to live a life that reflects who you truly are. This journey won't always be easy, but it will be worth it. And remember, every step you take brings you closer to the life you've imagined. So go out there and take that step. The world is waiting for the incredible things you're going to create. Now, let's make it happen.